Hey guys! So today I am doing a one brand makeup look. I am using all NYX products for this video. Some of these products I purchased during my Ulta haul. If you have not seen that haul, I will leave a card and link it down below. That way you can see all the products that I recently purchased versus all the products that I already had. I didn't have very many NYX things, so I was able to get new things from NYX. So I was able to try them out. You can find out my impressions. This is a first impression as well because I have not tried a lot of these. They were new, and I have not tried a lot of the NYX products altogether. So if you are interested in finding out all the products that I use and what I then just keep watching. I wish you could see how cute Homer is. He's sitting right here, just enjoying being with me. I know Homer's in a lot of my videos, but that's because he's literally obsessed with me. Like, he loves me. So he's just sitting right here, being my little buddy. He's literally following me everywhere. I just had to go get some NYX stuff, and he's just following me. Look, he's right here. My little guy. Say hi, buds. Oh, thank you, buddy. Say hi. Anyway, let's get started. So I'm first going to start out with my eyes, and I just realized that I don't have a NYX eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to use what I normally use. I usually just use my Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. So I'm just gonna put that on my eyes. For eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the NYX Avant Pop. Well, obviously it's NYX, but the Avant Pop. This is the palette Heartthrob, or excuse me, Art Throb. There are two other palettes. I don't know the names of them, but one is more neutral, and I believe the other is more cool toned. Since there isn't a real neutral tone in this to set my eyes, I'm going to just use the Highlight and Contour Pro palette, and I'm just going to use this color to set my eyes with a little shader brush. I guess I could zoom you in. There we go. I'll use a little shader brush, and actually I think I'm going to use this color right here. I'm just going to set my eyes with the Highlight and Contour palette. This is not shimmery, this is a matte shade, and I just want to set my eyes. Take it all the way up to the brow bone. Ugh. I have really sensitive dry eyelids, and one of my face washes, when it gets on my eye, it makes my eye super dry, and now I have like 3 dry patches. So annoying. Nothing I can do about that right now. I'm not quite sure what kind of look I want to go for today. I do want to be able to use this Cosmic Metals lip cream, and it is like a coppery tone, so I might go with a warm toned look. I think I might use just like the pink, the gold, and the orangey copper color. We'll see. So starting off, I'm going to take a blending brush, and I'm going to take the pink, and I'm going to put that in the crease of my eye. I'm going to take this warmer shade. The pink just wasn't dark enough. Since I have hooded eyes, I take it a little bit higher than my crease just because once I open my eye, my crease kind of disappears. I'm going to take some more of the pink into the crease again, just to make it pink again. Next, I'm going to take the orange with another shader brush. I don't know the pigmentation of these, so I'm going with fluffier brushes for a lighter application, just because I'm a little scared. So I'm going to put that on the outer half of my eye. Just to see if I can build up the pigmentation, I'm going to be using the Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. So I dip my brush in, give it a little spritz, and then apply it again to the outer half of my eye. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in the pigmentation of this. Taking the same brush, I'm gonna clean it off, and I'm going to use the golden shade on the inner half of my eye. Again, for starting out dry, and then we will see how it goes. Again, spraying it. The gold does better after you spray it. I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I'm just going to take the same blending brush. I'm just going to take the blending brush that I used in my crease and go back in a little bit. With a pencil brush, I'm going to go back into the contour palette and use the darkest shade and use that on the outer corner of my eye and into the crease. And then back in with the blending brush to blend that out a little bit. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed by that orange color, but otherwise it's okay. I am going to do the other eye. I see that my camera is about to die, so I'm going to quickly do the other eye and change out the battery. So I'll be right back. Finished up my eyes. I don't know, I'm on the fence about that palette. I'm gonna have to use it a couple more times to see if I really like it or not. But moving on to my face, I'm going to use the Shine Killer primer. I am super oily, so I don't want to use like an illuminating, like the, I believe it's called the Angel Veil primer. I would probably get really greasy if I use that, or I would look really greasy. For foundation, I have the Total Control Drop Foundation. I have the shade 10. I'm not sure about the shade. If you watched my haul video, I'll link it above. The only shades that I thought might be my color were 8, 10, and 13, and since 8 was a little too light, 13 was a little too dark, my only other option was 10. So it says to shake it up really well and then drop it on your face. I'm going to be using the Pro Flawless Bronzer Precision Brush number 46 by Sephora. I'm just going to drop this directly on my face. Whoa. So that's just 3 drops. The shade is pretty perfect. I'm gonna need a couple more drops because this brush kind of just soaked it all in. On the box it says that 3 drops equals medium coverage, 4 drops equals full coverage, 2 drops equals light coverage. This might be a hair too light. I mean, given the options that I had, it's a pretty good color. Yeah, it's a little bit too light, but you know, I can fix that. Bronzer and all that fun stuff, I can fix it. I look pretty ghostly though in the viewfinder. Whoa. In person, it doesn't look that ghostly, I promise. And it went on pretty well with a brush. I don't think that I would use a beauty blender with this just because it is so liquidy. It would probably just soak it right up. I guess it is pretty light. 13 though would have been way too dark, so. For concealer, I'm going to use the Gotcha Covered Concealer Waterproof. It's a full coverage concealer. I got the shade Medium. This could quite possibly be too dark, but again, I didn't have very many options. I'm going to first blend it out with my finger and then go back in with the Beauty Blender. This is a very thick concealer and is quite tacky. As suspected, it is a little too dark. Go back in with the Beauty Blender. I'm gonna go in with the highlight and contour palette, and I am going to use the lighter shade just to brighten up under my eyes. And for that, I'm just gonna use a contour brush just because why not? I thought I had a NYX setting powder, but apparently I don't. The one that I was thinking of was actually a Essence setting powder. So again, using my RCMA no color powder, I figured I'd go with a cheaper option setting powder since NYX is considered a drugstore brand, with my powder brush and just swiping that all over my face. For my brow, I'm going to be using the 3-in-1 brow in the shade Brunette. So one end is a pencil, another end is a, how do you take this thing apart? I know one's a powder, one's a pencil, and one is a brow tint. Where is the, oh, and then here's the powder. It's really cool. Man, you can just stick a whole bunch of stuff in this. Alright, so I'm going to start out with the pencil. I have a feeling this might be a little more warm toned than I usually like. I'm not a huge fan of how it's just a blunt, straight across cut. It makes it a little harder to use. Huh. This doesn't have a spoolie, so I'm just going to use my spoolie brush that I have. The formulation of that pencil has some wax in it, so it actually is keeping my brows in place. So I like that about it. That's pretty cool. I've noticed that the brow definer by Anastasia Beverly Hills isn't very waxy, and so, you know, my hairs kind of just do their own thing, which I don't mind either. I don't feel like my brows need to be set in place. So there we go. Those are quite bold brows, but you know, whatever. I'm actually not going to use any other parts of this just because it is quite dark, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna quickly just go back to my eyes, and I'm going to use this super skinny marker. It's in the shade Black. It was the only option I had, and I'm just going to make a wing. It's really tiny. I really like that, and I'm just gonna make a wing. I'm not a huge fan of this marker already. The felt tip is quite, I wouldn't even say flimsy, but it's just kind of catching on every single crease of my eye. I mean, it's very sharp, but I don't know, I'm not super impressed by this. It's kind of making it really hard to make a wing. And I have a feeling the other eye is gonna be even worse. It's something I'm gonna have to play around with more, but anyway, I've got to do this eye. Yeah, no, I don't like this eyeliner. I think the problem is that the tip of this, like the actual felt tip, is quite short, and so I'm dealing with, you know, the actual pen plastic part, and it's just making it really hard to see where I'm drawing a line and to see where the tip of my pen is, because, you know, it is very skinny, but then the actual pen is kind of in the way. Well, that's it. I'm over it. I did tiny little wings on both sides. That's all I needed. No, I just don't really like it. Actually, I don't really. I like the color. I like that it's, I like the finish of it. I like that it's super skinny, but it just needed to be a longer felt tip. For my lashes, I'm going to be using the Doll Eye Waterproof, and I'm just going to curl my lashes real fast. Before I move on to mascara, actually, I'm going to take the Faux Blacks eyeliner in the shade Burnt Sienna, and I'm going to tightline and put this on my waterline. I am being sloppy about it because I am going to smudge it out. Oh, I really like that color. To smudge it out, I'm just going to take my pencil brush with no product on it and just smudge. I'm not doing an actual look for this. I'm just trying out these products. I just want to see how they look. I really like that Faux Black eyeliner. It is more of a red toned eyeliner, and I really like that. I actually purchased an even redder version of this, and it was called Oxblood, and I used that in my previous video, my anti-Valentine's Day makeup look. I will link that down below and leave a card, but that one was a very red, very red. So now back to my lashes. Since I've already curled them, I'm going to put on the Doll Lash. I'm going to give my lashes a light coat, and then I will let them dry for a bit, curl them again, and put a second coat. I can tell you right now that this is not volumizing. Put it on my bottom lashes. I like this for my bottom lashes because the wand is pretty small, and I have very thin eyelashes and very short eyelashes on the bottom. Oh, I really like that for the bottom lashes. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of my face and wait until this mascara dries before I curl them again. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to contour with the more bronze shade. I'm going to bronze more than I am going to contour. I don't really like a contour that much just because it can look ashy. I just like to look a little sun-kissed. So I'm going to use this shade with typical handy dandy buffing brush. For highlight, I'm going to be using one of their Duo Chromatic highlighters, and I think I want to do the bluish one. This is in the shade Twilight Tint, and I'm just going to use my Morphe fan brush. There's no real look to this today. As I mentioned, I'm just trying all these products. Whoa. Whoa. Well, apparently that battery was almost dying. So anyway, look at this highlight. Oh my goodness. I love it. Moving on to blush. For blush, I'm going to be using the high definition blush in Pink the Town. And I'm just going to use a blush brush from my Morphe Copper collection. For lip liner, I'm going to take the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Soft Spoken. I have no real issues. I love the color, so. Next, I'm going to be using the Cosmic Metals Lip Cream. This is in the shade Speed of Light. It is a coppery color, and I believe this is more like a gloss than anything. It's like a coppery rose gold. That is intense. This is not kiss-proof or anything. It is definitely going to transfer. I mean, it's pretty. I wasn't expecting it to. Since it is a cream, it says it's a cream, I wasn't expecting it to be matte or anything like that, but I wish it was. That would be really pretty if it was. Going back to my lashes though, let's see if I can build up this mascara because my lashes are looking pretty lame. I know you shouldn't curl your lashes when you already have mascara on them, but when you have super thin, lame lashes like mine, super thin and super straight, then that's the best time to curl them because once the mascara is on, it hardens a little bit and it'll hold the curl. Okay. Let's zoom in. The mascara does not volumize whatsoever. I don't even think it even lengthens. So I'm pretty disappointed in this mascara, to be quite honest. I mean, this like does nothing for my lashes. And I believe those are all the products from NYX that I was able to use. This is the final look. Those lashes are really killing me. I think the only thing I was really impressed by was the foundation and the concealer. I actually really liked the brow product as well. So, oh, and that liner. Well, so I guess, you know, I was impressed by quite a bit. Some of these things I already had and some of these things I hauled. Watch my haul video to see which products I recently purchased for this one brand makeup look. But yeah, the foundation was pretty cool. I really liked that. And I was able to, you know, darken it up a little bit because it was a little too light. But anyway, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!